Hi, I'm Steve Atkins. I'm DSO Transition Manager and work in the Future Networks area of our business, looking at this transition from a distribution network operator that looks after the network to a network operator that takes more responsibility for some of the flows of electricity around our network. And embedding some of the distribution system operation capabilities that are needed for the smart grid of the future. So I'm going to talk about DSO in ED2 for SSEN, so in our next price control period that starts in 2023 through to 2028, and really just give you a summary of our plans for our DSO capabilities and how we've approached building that picture for the future. The reason I've just to clarify this term, many Europe, they use the word distribution system operator. We are going to continue to be a distribution network operator, but we will be undertaking some distribution system operation capabilities as part of our plans for ED2. And just to summarize our key DSO outputs for ED2 as we've outlined them in the business plan that was published this week. That outlines a DSO strategy that's underpinned by a new operating model and detailed action plan of how we get there. It's got some suggestions around clear measurement of what constitutes good in terms of undertaking these DSO capabilities. And we've also got a number of customer value propositions that align with our DSO principles that we enshrined, right back in 2018 when we started looking at DSO. They go above and beyond the kind of baseline expectations from Ofgem, and all of those outputs are around ticking out three goals for ED2, which is accelerating progress to net zero, maintaining safe, resilient and responsive networks, and ensuring we continue to offer a trusted and valued service to customers and communities. This isn't just about ED2. We've been investing and preparing for DSO for some time now. We've spent just over 160 million on updating our core capabilities that we'll need to build DSO on, so around asset management, operational technology, centralizing active network management to reduce costs where we need to utilize that as a tool. Some trials around DSO and involvement with open networks, which is part of the ENA's project to get consistency and standardization across the networks, and also EV readiness, because low carbon technology is already having an impact on our network, and EVs are by far the lead category, if you like, in terms of impact on the network at the moment. So in ED1, flexible connections have already contributed significant benefits to customers, avoided about 90.6 years of connection delays, and generated around 60 million of benefit across 412 megawatts of capacity. That benefits avoided reinforcement for those that have been able to utilize a flexible connection for a quicker or cheaper connection. And in ED1, we've also utilized 5 gigawatt hours of flexibility services rather than going straight to reinforcement, and that's avoided around 3,250 tons of carbon dioxide to date. So already we're seeing the benefits of operating these DSO capabilities within the business. And we've done approach on this is been done with stakeholder support. Back in 2017, we published supporting the smarter electricity system, and had an event to kind of kick that off. Since then, we've had about 14 stakeholder events purely on DSO, published around 9 documents relating specifically to the implementation of DSO functions, reaching almost 500 stakeholders. And the feedback is that we're the right entity to deliver these DSO functions that we're talking about here, that we need to take a lead on it. We need to be ready in advance of net zero. It's no good turning up at 2050 ready to go. We need to be facilitating work well in advance of that. That we should prioritise flexibility in whole system solutions. That we have to do that in a neutral manner. We can't distort these markets that are emerging. We should facilitate them, but not play in them, if you like, and that nobody should be left behind. Our latest consultation has been on how we measure DSO. How do you measure good DSO performance? And thankfully, this within ED2, Ofgem have been pretty clear about the capabilities that are required for DSO. They have a number of baseline expectations that we meet, and they've formed part of how we've put this DSO strategy together for ED2. So if you look at the chart here, the darker areas of policy have informed us. So originally the Smart Systems and Flexibility Plan, and then most recently the baseline expectations for DSO. We've been working in collaboration with the other networks under the Open Networks, and that's given us a clear direction of travel, been coordinating with the ESO and transmission as well. And then from an SSEN perspective, at the top there, we've incorporated learning by doing from projects Leo and Transition, from stakeholder engagement, and from some of our other key innovation projects such as Project Save. And that has been what we've been doing the first half of this year, is pulling that together in a strategy that kind of realises the benefits of flexibility, that builds the DSO capability, and is starting to produce a clear DSO operating model for our business. And that is focused on 3 key areas to meet the minimum requirements from Ofgem around planning and network development, network operation and market development. And in summary, those are firstly forecasting our network requirements and evaluating network solutions, securing flexibility as an alternative to reinforcement from the external market, and then operating flexibility efficiently and effectively alongside our other network solutions. So you can see that in summary there, that our operating model is based on those 3 key functions, and those will envelop our DSO capability within the business. And that is based on Ofgem's flexibility lifecycle that was published probably a couple of years ago now, around making sure that we utilise future energy scenarios to have clear outturns within the business that we can plan for, and growth forecasts, that we can use those to identify network needs in terms of converting those to load curves and load profiles, so we can see on the business what the impact is, and then analyze those options in terms of what is the most cost-effective way of meeting our network requirements, and then how do we make the decision on the most efficient solution and make that in a clear, transparent way, so people know that we are spending customers' money wisely, that we're making the most of the optionality that flexibility offers, and that we're not just resorting to asset build. and that will give us a number of outcomes around short-term flexibility, long-term flexibility, or network build. Because in some cases, there will be a need to produce reinforce assets because the uptake of low carbon technology is just so rapid that flexibility can't keep pace with that. And in terms of those scenarios, just to give you an idea, within the ED2 business plan, most of all of the DNOs have used the National Grid future energy scenarios, which are based on these axes of the level of societal change and speed of carbonisation. In the bottom left there, you can see steady progression, which is just kind of as is progression. And then there's three scenarios there: consumer transformation, system transformation, and leading the way, all of which meet net zero by 2050. In fact, leading the way meets it prior to 2050. So those are the kind of scenarios or outturns that National Grid view as meeting the net zero target. And within that, we've used the consumer transformation scenario on which to base our business plan. And that's a fairly rapid uptake of low carbon technology. And as you see on the diagram on the right, it just shows you that the rate of growth against uncertainty, and just outlines how, with rapid rates of growth, maybe network reinforcement delivers maximum value. Where there's high levels of uncertainty, flexibility delivers its maximum value. So as we go through the business plan, there's a balance between utilizing flexibility in areas of uncertainty, but investing in a network where rates of growth are clear and high. And what that means is that our investment in our DSO capability that we need for ED2 will be offset by the benefits that we realise for customers by deploying flexibility as a network solution and mitigating the need for costly reinforcement of our network. So there's a benefit in terms of avoiding reinforcement. There's also a benefit in terms of smoothing the delivery curve of reinforcement. So you can utilise flexibility in order to smooth that delivery curve and make sure that we don't have contractor peaks where we're struggling for resource as well. In terms of flexible connections in ED2, we plan to grow our flexible connections to offer 3.7 gigawatts of capacity across 35 zones, generating 417 million of avoided cost and offsetting around 1.8 million tonnes of CO2. In terms of flexibility services, we expect to defer between 60 to 100 million of network investment, providing net benefit of around 44 to 78 million, subject to market liquidity, flexibility prices, and the uptake of low carbon technologies. And as I said, we are looking at how we measure DSO, making sure that we work to deliver DSO capabilities well, and we went through quite a long process of stakeholder consultation to come up with some stakeholder prioritized metrics that people felt should be at the top of the pile in terms of measuring DSO performance, and they are data accuracy, accessibility, and timeliness. So making sure that an evaluation around our performance in sharing data, facilitating participation, so helping the customer journey in terms of providing flexibility, so around promoting market awareness, how to participate in the market, overcoming some of the barriers to participation, and then forecasting. so driving improvement in our week ahead operational forecasting, so we can utilize flexibility in an efficient and effective way as part of our control room functions. And then above and beyond the work that we're doing for our kind of core DSO capabilities, we're also proposing a number of customer value propositions which are focused on stimulating the market, improving accessibility, and exploring whole system solutions. The three that we are outlining as part of our business plan is one around supporting energy efficiency schemes, so utilising energy efficiency as a network solution that can reduce capital expenditure and at the same time provide wider societal benefits to vulnerable customers. So maybe that's around improving housing stock, or the way that heat and energy are used within the home, which can create a reduction in demand or slow demand on the network, and so mitigate the need for reinforcement. Working with local authority partners in that. Stimulating community flexibility markets is the second one, so around incentivizing flexibility technology and solutions to encourage flexibility recruitment in target areas where liquidity is maybe slow in the market, and trying to work with communities to participate in those nascent flexibility markets. And then finally, infrastructure support package for local authorities, supporting local authorities to expand and reinforce existing infrastructure, looking at whole system solutions to support their local area energy plans, so helping them with some expertise and resource in order to deliver those. So those are our customer value propositions as part of our draft business plan. So thank you for this. We had some great questions at the session, which we'll feed back on through the website, and if you do have any further questions, you'll have the link from Debbie to send those through to myself. Thank you very much.